and I'm back again with another video. So this is a video that's kind of on my list twice now, but in different aspects. So, and it's a conversation that I've found that I've had a few times this week, and by like a few I mean more than five, more than I can count on one hand. So I thought I'd go ahead and make a video about it real quick. And the topic is why sometimes we are so exhausted after doing tarot readings or spell work or any other kind of energy work or healing work at all. And a lot of people I've seen are asking this question because they feel like they've done something wrong. They might be being under a psychic attack or magical attack, or maybe their spirit's feeding off them because they didn't protect themselves well enough, or something like that. Some people even worry that they are being punished by the universe or their gods because they have done something improperly. Not because they've done something like immoral, that's Cain, but because they did something like off procedure and they didn't follow the rules correctly or something, and thus they're being punished as a result, like they bought their own tarot deck or something. So he's my handsome boy. So I wanted to talk about that, and the other video that I was going to do that kind of tied into this was how to keep your energy up when you're at a psychic fair, a situation where you can't really screen everyone that you deal with who comes by your booth or your table or your tent or whatever you're doing that's set up there, or even if you're just going as a customer yourself, an attendee. And so the reason that we often find these activities so exhausting is because they take energy. That's even when you're doing tarot readings, the cards aren't doing the tarot reading. You're doing the tarot reading. You're just using the cards as a tool to do it, and the cards are not an energy tool. They're a communication or reference tool. The source of the energy being used is you. And so, of course, after you do a ritual or a spell, or you do some energy work or a healing or something, or even a tarot reading, you're going to be more tired than before you did it. And it's really that simple. Now, over time, you'll develop your muscles. You'll learn to manage your energy better. You'll learn techniques that will use less energy in general. And you'll not exhaust yourself quite so much. But you'll still find times when you've done something, or something wasn't as easy, or you do a bigger project or task or whatever, and you still end up exhausted. Or maybe you spend 20 hours doing tarot readings or healings, and so of course you're going to be tired at the end of the day. Anyone's going to be tired after 20 hours of anything, even if you're just sitting on the couch, doing absolutely nothing. At the end of 20 hours, you're going to be tired. So we're humans and we have physical bodies. It's just how it works. So there's a couple things that we can do to minimize that. For one, remembering to tap into your divine source as a source of energy. We call it source. We refer to it in shorthand as source. And it's not like, we don't tap into love, we don't tap into knowledge, we tap into source, and we call it source in the New Age community and Neo-Pagan community because it's the source of like freaking everything, and that includes energy. So you can tap into source to get information, you can tap into source to get comfort, you can tap into source to get permission, guidance, support, you can tap into source to get energy, just like it were a battery. And so that's one way you can kind of minimize the energy that you're expending. You can just get some from source. And for some of us, that includes the planet. We can use energy from our environment. Now, in doing that, you do have to be mindful that you're not like stealing energy from something else that needs it. Like if I stole energy from my cat Cain, I would risk making him very sick. So that's a very rude thing to do. But other things don't need their energy quite so badly, like the planet itself. As a living being on the planet, I do help fuel it, so if I borrow a smidgen of energy to do something, it's going to end up being recycled back in anyway, so it's all good as it is, and the planet has plenty of energy to spare. So not a big deal to borrow some from the giant rock we're floating on in the middle of space. And the other thing that you can do is tap into your normal sources of energy. As a physical being, we have 3 primary sources of energy: food, sleep, and inspiration, activity, happiness, emotional energy, that kind of fire energy that's kind of, people call it like passion and stuff like that. It's whatever lights you up. That might be art or music or hanging out with your friends, like whatever stimulates you and makes you feel more energized. So those are your 3 sources. So if you're doing like a long event, or you're getting ready for a healing session, or you're getting ready to do a bunch of tarot readings, or you're getting ready for ritual, I suggest a snack beforehand. Make sure you have a good night's sleep, take care of your body, be extra nice to yourself. Even though we like to think of ourselves as spiritual beings who are temporarily in a physical vessel, we do have to be mindful to treat that physical vessel with respect, because it is essential to our experience. So it's kind of like being, I'm not my house, so I think I'll treat it like shit. Like, no, you treat your house well, you keep it maintained, because you gotta live somewhere, and if your house falls apart, that would be bad. Same thing with your body. Like, you treat your body well, make sure it stays fueled and it's in good repair, so that your time living in it isn't terrible. My cats are very excited. They apparently like this conversation or something. That's Nora the baby. So yeah, take care of your body. If you're going to be doing a lot of work, get some good rest the night before, take good care of yourself, do something stimulating, keep yourself in a good mood, do whatever is going to take to lift yourself up, and remember to eat something healthy and energizing. For me, I work as a tarot reader professionally. It's what I do most of my time. And so before I start doing my tarot readings for the day, I eat. And so if that's, it doesn't even matter what time it is. I usually plan to have my meal right before I start working on my tarot readings, so that I don't get exhausted halfway through, because if I suddenly pass out halfway through a reading, my work is going to go to poo. And I just can't be relied on at that point. If you pass out in the middle of a ritual, that's no good. So make sure you're fueled up before you even get started. And then when you finish, fuel ups again. It's totally fine. That's why traditionally, a lot of times when we finish ceremonies or rituals, we end it with feasting and drinks, because everyone's gonna be tired afterwards. And before you can get to the dancing and debauchery, you're gonna want some drinks first. I'm kidding about the debauchery, but not the dancing. Dancing is totally essential. But yeah, so just remember that those things that we do, the rituals and the spells and the healing and the magic and the readings, they all take energy, and you have to supply that energy in some way. So of course you're going to be tired. It's not just fluff, guys. It's a real thing, and you have to kind of manage that. And so I think it's kind of fun, especially when you're first starting, to discover that you're really exhausted, especially after a really solid meditation. I mean, you were just sitting there, right? You weren't actually doing anything, but here you are exhausted. Like, it's pretty convincing that there might actually be something going on aside from just sitting there. So anyways, that's my thoughts and my advice on energy management and why you might find some of this work so exhausting, because like it is. And there's a reason we call it work and exercises and energy work and that kind of stuff. So I hope this helps you out and you find it educational at least a little bit. And even if you didn't, at least you got to meet my cats, and they're adorable. So this is Nathara at Crowsong Lodge, and we'll all see you later. Nora just knocked my crochet off my desk, because that's what she does. I will talk to you later.